Assalamu alaikum students. My name is Asif and I am back with the lecture number 16. Today we are going to re-continue the last three stanza where we left in the last class. So fourth stanza I am going to read out for you, and we will learn also the meanings of the difficult words. He can only behold with unfrighted eyes, behold to see, to look at, unfrighted without fear, the horrors of the deep and the terrors of the skies. Yes, when the difficult time comes, whenever you are facing a very difficult time or situation, if you are honest, you cannot think about it, because you know that all the things are coming from God, and only God take a test of the people, how the people deal with the problems and how they remain thankful to God. So this is the reason honest person remains thankful in all conditions, either he is facing problems or not. And then in the second last stanza, the poet says, thus scorning all cares, scorning, not to take care of anything, thus scorning all the cares that fate or fortune, the wealth, the amount, the property, the fate, the upcoming future, the forthcoming days. He makes the heaven his book, his wisdom heavenly things. In the second last stanza, Thomas Campion is describing that an honest person believes that what is ahead, whatever is up to come, everything is coming from God. There is only God who can write or who can change the upcoming days. The upcoming days have been coming from God. We are only going to face, an honest person knows that he is only going to face the future that has been written by God. And God always knows what is right for us, and he always writes the right path, the right things to happen. So this is the reason an honest person always have strong faith whatever is ahead and whatever is coming in the near future. In the last stanza, the poet says that good thoughts, his only friends, his wealth a well spent age, his earth is sober, peaceful, simple, humble, in a place where people live for a temporary period, and quite almost pilgrimage. Pilgrimage means religious journey. An honest person believes that he is living in this world for a sojourn period. He is here for a temporary period. He is not here for forever. He believes that any time the death can come to him and he can face the taste of death. So this is the reason he believes that he is on a religious journey, because he knows that this is not the temporary world. The temporary and eternal life is after death, and whatever he is doing, he has to answer of all the deeds that he did in this temporary world. So he believes that whatever he is doing, he has to answer on the day of the judgment. So he believes that this journey is a religious journey, because he thinks that I am going to face whatever I have done in this temporary world. So he lives like a religious person. He believes and he tries to make himself a pious man, and he always does the good things in his life, and he always worships to God and praises God. So this is the reason he even knows that his journey of this temporary world is equal to a religious journey, and he has to be very cautious all the times. Even a single minutes of his life, he believes that he has to spend in good deeds, not in the bad deeds, because he has to answer every single moment of his life. So I hope you have understood this poem, and now we are going towards the next, the third on page number 44, the lines from Samson Agonistus. Let me tell you what is agonistus. Agonistus, fighter. Agonistus means fighter. Lines from Samson, agonistus. I have told you briefly about the background of the poem, and this time I am not going to give you the background or detailed summary, because this is the concise summaries of all the poems. Samson. This poem is based on Greek mythology. And what is myth? Myth is the fact or the belief that is not true, but followed by many people in the past or in the present. Lines from Samson, agonistus. Samson is believed to be a great warrior or great fighter in the past, written in the Greek mythology, and even written in the Christianity, in the Bible. This story basically has been taken from the Bible, and in Bible the story of Samson has been described briefly, and how he saves his people from the cruelty of his enemies. So it's basically written, it has been written in the Bible, and John Milton is describing that event that has been written in the Bible. He is going to describe that event in his own words. So he has written a play, a verse play, a play that has been written in poetry form, and he described the life of Samson. And these lines that we are going to study today, these are about the death of the great hero of the play, Samson, and his name was also Samson. So we are going to read out the end of Samson. Samson was the great warrior and fighter of Philistines, and he belongs to Philistine, and he was a great fighter, and he had superficial power and superficial strength given by or gifted by God. So he has enough strength to defeat or to defend or to fight with everyone whenever their enemies belonging to Israel, and whenever he was basically from Israel, and his enemies were from Philistines. So whenever Philistines tried to attack on him and on his country, he forever defended his country, and he used his superficial strength that has been given from God as a gift. So he used and he defended his country, and he always saved his country from the attacks of those enemies. Finally, they had got the idea that they were not able to defeat Samson and his country. So Philistines made a plan of treachery, and they sent a lady. So they hatched a plot, and the lady was from Philistines, and a lady came into the land of Israel and met Samson, and Samson very soon fell in the love of that lady, and they both get married. So what happened? Sooner or later, as they got married, the lady was on the mission, and she asked him to tell her about the strength. What is the strength, and what is the reality of strength, and what is the secret of strength, where the strength has been hidden in his body, and what is the secret, how can they decrease, how can one attack or decrease the strength of Samson. So Samson revealed one day that his strength lays in his long ears. So one day she called the barber, and barber came over there, and the barber cut down his long hairs, and the enemies called out by the lady, and enemies took Samson to the prisoner, and they also took the eyes of Samson's bodies, and they made him blind. So here the story begins. I am going to read out for you, and with the meanings. So at the early stages of the poetry session, I did not tell you about the text and meanings of the difficult words. Today I am going to tell you the meanings of the difficult words as well. He patient. I am going to read out the first line. He patient, bearable, to bear something. He patient but undaunted, fearless. Undaunted, Where they led him came to the place what was set before him, which without help of art might be assayed. Attempt. To heave. Heave means to push, pull, draw, break. He still performed all with incredible, beyond expectation, great, incredible, stupendous, enormous, with great energy, force, none daring to appear antagonist. At length, for intermission's sake, they led him between the pillars. He, his guide, requested for so from such as nearer stood we heard, as overtied to let him lean a while, to bend, lean a while with both his arms on those two messy pillars. Messy means massive. That to the arched, connected. Roof gave mean support. He unsuspicious led him, which when Samson felt in his arms, with head a while inclined to take a step forward below and to bend over something. And eyes fast fixed he stood as one who prayed, or some great matter in his mind revolving to think about something. At last, with head erect, straight, with head erect, thus cried aloud, hitherto. Till now, hitherto, till now. Lords, what your commands imposed, I have performed as reason was obeying, not without wonder or delight beheld. See, now of my own accord such other try. I mean to show you of my strength yet greater, as with a mace that shall strike all who behold. This uttered, straining all his nerves, he bowed, as with the force of winds and waters, pent, fixed. When mountains tremble, shiver. Those two massy pillars with horrible convulsion blast to and fro, he tugged, pull, he shook till down they came and drew the whole roof after them with the burst of thunder. upon the heads of all who sat beneath, under, lords, ladies, captains, counselors of priests, their choice, nobility and flower, not only of this but each Philistine city round, met from all parts to solemnize celebrate this feast party. Samson with these inevitably, surely pulled down the same destruction on himself. For this time I have read out the text for you with meanings, and in the next lecture I will describe the short analysis of this poem, and I will also continue the next poem. So don't miss out the next poem. I am going to read out the text for you of the next poem, and I will give you the meanings of the difficult words as well. So I hope you have understood this lecture, and I will be back with the next lecture. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz. Goodbye.